Italian American community leaders in Baltimore are livid after vandals installed a toilet on the side of a Christopher Columbus statue that was hurled into the inner harbor by protesters in 2020. Officials were tipped off about the vile display last week when passersby reported the pedestal that once held the Columbus statue was now topped by a white porcelain toilet. City workers finally removed the toilet hours after they received word it was there. The Baltimore statue was installed in 1984, but was illegally torn down by a mob of Black Lives Matter protesters in July of 2020. The statue was later fished out of the inner harbor and refurbished before it was reinstalled on the White House grounds this past March by President Trump. However, the original resting place of the statue remained empty until last week's disgusting display. To speak more about this is our good friend Andre DiMino, who's the president of the Italian American One Voice Coalition. We say good morning and welcome to you, Andre.
Thanks, Ken. Again, I wish it was under better circumstances.
You and I have got to make a plan to get together under nice circumstances, a good
Right.
holiday. Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, it was bad enough when these mobs of protesters tore down the statue in 2020, and local officials let it happen and did nothing to find or prosecute the people who did it. But the fact that the foundation sits in the very busy Inner Harbor area, it isn't off in some remote area. Thousands of people pass it every day. You would think somebody would have seen as these people were doing this, because it's patrolled by police all day and night. It makes you wonder how somebody could have gone unnoticed as they hoisted a 100-pound toilet 7 feet in the air onto the city property. That would have taken several people, 1 or 2 ladders and some ropes and other equipment, and that's not a quick job. So where were the police, and where do you think that surveillance video is?
Well, it's actually been reported that the police were told to stand down, as they probably did back in 2020, when not only they took the statue down, but they broke it up and threw it in the inner harbor. And that pedestal, Ken, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really beautiful because the pedestal has depictions of Columbus's voyages around the 4 sides. So, that still is something of honor to the local Italian Americans that worked so hard to get those pieces out of the harbor and have a statue resurrected and now prominently displayed at the White House. So this is just another insult to the Italian Americans in that area, and actually to all of us.
And I should mention, Andre, we just got some video from the Baltimore Sun. This was posted by the Baltimore Sun. There's a guy who says it's his toilet and that he placed it on the pedestal in protest. But this is the funny thing. He says he doesn't say anything about Christopher Columbus or that he did it to protest Italians. He's apparently trying to go after the mayor and the governor. This man is African American, the mayor's African American, the governor's African American, and he's basically saying that they are treating African Americans in the city like slaves. His name is Dwayne Shorty Davis. He posted a video in which he rambles on. So we don't know for sure that this is the case or if he just is a random guy, but this was posted by the Baltimore Sun. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
I'm in Little Italy, all right? This is where we took the Christopher Columbus statue down. Governor Westmore, this is your toilet. Dr. K, this is your toilet. This is called public accommodations, the right to access the courts. So in 2026, I want my property on Falls Road. I want the money you owe me. This toilet represents how you treat us. You treat us like we traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and our black community is still the cash crop.
Again, there is no evidence. He could be some rando who just says this, but he happened to be there when the toilet went there. So whether he took part, whether he just supported it, whether he just kept his mouth shut, or whether it was really his toilet, we don't know. But the Baltimore Sun did post the video. We just want to make sure that that's clear. And we also want to say that the still pictures we got were from the New York Post. So we want to give credit to the individual newspapers that did publish this. But when you see this, you got to scratch your head and say, okay, no one seems to care. Baltimore city officials literally do not care if you are anything but one segment of that society.
Well, I hate to say maybe don't care, but I hope it's not complicit. Because after all, when the statue came down, there was not much activity to protect it at that time. And, here we go again, direct insult and vandalism and actually a criminal act of putting that toilet up there. And I don't see the connection with, if that video is accurate, I don't see the connection with the Columbus statue and the toilet and what he was talking about. So again, it's just another disgraceful act that should not happen.
Yeah, what he was trying to say is in other words, he didn't even care about what used to stand there 5-6 years ago. What he was just basically saying was he used that place as a place to foster a complaint, if you will, against the city and the state. But it has to be investigated. The police have to find the guy, talk to him, but they don't care, and they're not doing it. So the question is, will the Little Italy Association, I think the only thing they can do is sue, because clearly the police don't care, the prosecutors there don't care, and the mayor doesn't care. Otherwise, Italian Americans in Baltimore pack up and move out and say, you know what? Your loss. We want to thank Andre DiMino. We're short on time. Others, we got to have you on again to talk more about this. Andre DiMino, president of the Italian American One Voice Coalition. We always love when you come on, sir. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Great to see you again, Ken. Thank you.